Alright, what's up everybody? We're back with more of Avernum Escape from the Pit. Well, here we are finally, ladies and gentlemen. We're here at the Tower of Magi. We're pretty much long overdue for more spells, and anyway, because yeah, I could have blasted through those encounters a little bit better, but I did just fine anyway. You enter the Tower of Magi. This is the center of magical learning in Avernum and thus incredibly important. The power here makes the difference between life and death for everyone down here. Yet, something is not right here. The huge stone structure is imposing, sure. Yet there is also something strange here, something wrong. It's a little bit too warm, a little bit too dark, as you constantly feel you're being watched. And, considering how much magical power rests here, that is probably more than mere paranoia. Alright, so with that in mind, let's go ahead and explore here. Oh, hey, when the camera does that when I'm checking something. And I'll level up my team in a minute. I'm just going to wait until I also get Xander and Ariadne leveled up. I mean, let's go over here instead. Thick book. The book describes a number of obscure and not very interesting magical artifacts. The bookmark is at a page describing something called a blessed athame. It's an enchanted knife, incredibly durable and sharp. A note in the margin mentions that one of these knives rests in hiding in a workshop at the Tower of Magi. This book is on various sorts of summonings and bindings. It's quite hard to read, however, as many pages have been torn out and most of the rest of them have been defaced by spilled ink. On the last page, you notice that someone has written the words Ads Hakai Madness. Strange. You take note of the name. These are the quarters for the apprentices of the tower. There are sleeping cubicles all along the north wall. It's very quiet here. The students have to take a vow of silence for the first 2 years of their study. You try to talk to this apprentice, but you get no response. Students of the Tower of Magi must take oaths of silence. This is a small lecture hall intended for a very small number of students. A board on the north wall has frightening arcane symbols. Here many of the brightest Avernites are taught magic. This is a remarkable thing, considering that on the surface very few people are allowed any access to magic, and even then only after they have sworn dire oaths of loyalty to the Empire. The hall is dominated by a large magical portal. Looking through the flickering nimbus of energy, you see other towns and tunnels of Avernum flicker by. Piles of supplies surround it, ready to be instantly delivered to faraway caves. The portal is tended to by one lone mage. The raw power in this chamber can't be good for her, but she seems unconcerned. Ah, she says, a traveler. Here to learn to use the portal? I'm Newbury. I can help. Use the portal? Of course, why else would you be here, except to see how to use the power of the Empire for ends that aid us. It is not difficult once you have located the pylons. Where can the portal take me? Anywhere we have placed a pylon and you have touched it. Which is exactly why when we were in the Avernum towns we were able to touch the pylons even though we couldn't use them quite yet. Pylons. Enchanted stone pylons placed by us in all the major cities in Avernum. Also the castle and a handful of promising settlements. Where should I look for the pylons? Oh, we haven't hidden them. They are simply underground to shelter the people from raw magical energy. Tunnels under cities are the best places to look. And when I find a pylon, touch it and concentrate on this place. You will come here. Then step into the portal again and concentrate on a pylon, and you will go there. Simplicity itself, as long as you live. Anything else? You can now use the portal pylons to instantly travel from city to city. So now we have access to teleport, which is really useful. Is the portal dangerous? Some think that the power that courses out of it will wither all those who spend too much time nearby. Doesn't that worry you? Of course not. The raw magical energy is invigorating, and while my hair falls out sometimes, that might have happened anyway. Is the portal dangerous to use? Of course. Terribly so. Why, you might end up with your head in a wall. That's not good, is it? But, and this is key, it is less dangerous than actually traveling on the roads of Avernum. Newbury continues to walk around the portal, inspecting and shifting about the piles of goods. He occasionally manipulates or stabilizes the portal by muttering a spell. Tell me about these supplies. They are being sent to needy cities all over Avernum, and no, you can't have any. How do the pylon, how do the pylons get placed? Yeah. Mages go there with the proper materials and they set to work. The major cities were easy to reach. Some desired destinations are more difficult. Such as, we want to make a portal connecting us to Erica's tower, but it is too far a journey. A pity. It would help us to draw from her great knowledge. Tell me more about her. She is the greatest mage in Avernum. Alas, she is also a hermit. Also, she is consumed with hatred of the Empire. You should seek to meet her. If you are truly as ambitious as you look, she may have use for you. This room is cluttered with an astonishing variety of flasks, mortars, pestles, jars of small body parts, and other alchemical devices. Things bubble, smoke, and occasionally explode. This is a magical laboratory for apprentice magicians, and thus a very dangerous place to be. Well, I can imagine, especially if things go wrong. This book is old, leather-bound, and heavily worn, and yet the pages are all completely blank. How odd. And man, but yeah, can you imagine trying to learn here and then a magic spell definitely goes wrong? An old man putters about this laboratory. Sometimes he seems senile, sometimes alert. He seems confused by your presence. What brings you to Avernum? You are no apprentice. Do you work in the tower? I and Koenig are the day-to-day teachers of the tower. I have been a teacher for many years. You can buy spells if you want. He chuckles. Don't ask the students for help. They are forbidden to speak without permission. Why can't the students speak freely? Ah, it's part of their training. Koenig and I look after them, teach them magic, and discipline them as necessary. Where is Koenig? He's away, looking for some sort of crystal cave. Don't know anything about it. He said he was going to Katra, I think. Pity he's away. He's the one who teaches a lot of our potion making classes. If you see him, ask him about it. He smiles. Who knows, maybe you could learn something from him. Ambrin moves around the laboratory, cleaning it and preparing for his next set of lessons. Can I learn some mage spells? Ambrin will teach magic to all Vernites, even those who are not full apprentices. Okay, so we can learn a lot more here. Let's check these out now. Cloak of Bolts makes your group's missile weapons do more damage. You can only have one cloak at once. Minor Summon summons a creature to aid you in battle. Lightning Spray, the spell sprays lightning at several foes, doing considerable damage. Blink, ensnares all nearby foes and teleports you to a new location. Those are the spells we learned. Do you have any other administrative jobs for the schools or anything I could help with for money or magic? As a matter of fact, there is an infestation of ogres nearby. They keep eating our students. Kill the ogre mage which leads them and I will teach you a valuable spell. They live to the northwest. He chuckles. You may want to be careful though. It may be a somewhat difficult foe. Aren't you wizards? Can't you kill the thing yourselves? We are wizards, but we are busy. Too busy for the mundane task of protecting apprentices who should be learning to save themselves. Also, everyone here is alert and working to bottle up the Hakai Lord. Oh. Wait. The what? Nothing. Nothing at all. I did not say anything. Please do not tell Linda. Just a slip of the tongue. Nothing at all. Well, oops. That was indeed a slip of the tongue right there. Okay, this right here is actually a quest item, so we'll go ahead and grab it. I'm not worried about a light source, so. Knowledge of the spell haste here. Right, so we got access to haste. Added a 20% bonus. A young apprentice is staring into the pool. He looks very nervous. When you approach, he looks up at you, seemingly evaluating you. He's trying to decide whether you can be trusted. Finally, he makes a decision. He shakes your hand. Hello, I am Kellner. Why are you staring into the pool? I am an apprentice. I come to this pool often to contemplate. What things do you have to contemplate? Too many things. My life, my lessons, the things that are happening in this tower. If you search the tower and learn the name of the thing we have brought here, perhaps I will share my contemplations with you. He looks sideways at you as if waiting for some sort of response. You mean the Hakai Lord? He turns, relieved. Yes, you are not from the tower, so you might be trustworthy. He speaks quickly, looking constantly for eavesdroppers. A powerful creature has been brought here, and it may escape any day. It all started when Solberg of the Triad left. It is my hope that if he is alerted, disaster may be averted. When did Solberg leave? He went away a year ago. I don't know why. He was my friend and looked after me, and he said if ever he was needed, instructions for where to find him were left in a hidden cave east of here. I can't go find him, but maybe travelers such as you can. His message is in a secret tunnel northeast of here, inscribed on a twisted pillar of crystal. Please find him. If the Hakai Lord escapes, horrid things will happen. Alright, so we have another quest out of many. This bizarre book describes in great detail the variety of mental disorders which can cause one to think that you are being watched, even that someone is sneaking up right behind you, watching you, and sneaking up on you. Oh, snap, really? Well, that was a trapped book. Can fire damage a regular cave demon? Oh yeah, I can. Okay, at least we survived it. Spine shield, we'll put that on him. Okay, there's nothing in here. There is a young man locked in the cell. He is clearly an apprentice mage, however, he is clearly starved and dehydrated and on the verge of a nervous breakdown as well. You ask his name, but he only says, "It's here? Is it here? Why are you locked up?" He didn't seem to hear what you said. "I'll be good, I promise. It's a good idea. We did. I'm glad. It was a good thing. Please let me out. We can control it." His eyes are wild and his voice is shrill, almost a shriek. Control what? He continues to rant. It's strange. He seems to be weakened not by deprivation, but sheer terror. "We can control it. I didn't think we could." He looks at you for the first time, seeming to see you. "We all did it. We all brought it here. Here, we lured it." He lurches even closer to you. "It's here now, above us, waiting for us to break. Then we all burn." He starts shouting with a ragged voice. He doesn't stop. Oh my goodness. What did they summon in this freaking tower? This is the tower's library of esoterica. The books are obscure and dust enshrouded. You can't help but wonder where all the books came from. They are from the surface. They must have been smuggled down here. You flip through them, but you don't find anything useful. You see a strange man, middle-aged, calm, and confident. He has a staff carved in the shape of a cobra. He's completely lost in thought, so much so that it seems an effort for him to talk to you. He reads the scroll, mutters, "Yes, trajectory, plan, angle, travel, you, visitor, IMX, triad, what, red, plan, above, fire, yes." He continues in this vein for some time. What are you doing in this library? Research. Lately, I have been researching. A new spell would make an anvil drop on someone's head, even from a long distance. It would be a wondrous spell. I wouldn't have a chance to find it without this library. Mostly, though, I teach. What do you teach? Powerful spells, but I've been busy lately and haven't time to do any teaching now. He thinks, but wait, we could trade. I have heard rumors that somewhere in Avernum there is a place called Barga that has a small library. Find it. It would be a great help in researching my anvil flinging spell. I'll make you a trade. You tell me where the library is and I will teach you spells. Are you a member of the Triad? Yes, I, Linda, and Solberg rule the tower. However, I have been busy. Solberg is away. Mainly Linda is in charge. I wonder what she has been doing. I'd like to learn some spells from you. Where did this library come from? Oh. Teach. Yes, I like to teach. Where did this library come from? One of the many gifts, Erica Redmark, about whom the less said, the better. Okay, so we do have a quest to go to Barga's library, which again is going to be a journey. We're not going to get to it right away, but We will eventually get to it anyway. Alright, so definitely a lot to explore in the Tower of Magi, that's for sure. A tiny, grinning man in ratty robes greets you. He is surrounded by an astonishing collection of items. Some mundane, some expensive looking, some utterly bizarre. Welcome, he says. Welcome to my collection. I am Brantford, and I have the finest trading post for volatile, magically tinged junk in all of Avernum. Why do you have all this stuff? Well, I collect strange items from all parts of the caves and pass the savings on to you. Let me know if you want to buy or sell something. Who trades with you? Adventurers, mercenaries, farmers who found something glowing in the basement. In Avernum, we can't let a single scrap of magic go to waste, so they bring it to all to old Brantford. Brantford eagerly shows you prime selections from its collection of magical junk. Some of it glows, some of it hisses, some of it seems like it could blow up at any moment. Brantford seems unconcerned. I'd like to do some shopping. Brantford has an amazing collection of junk, some of it magical. And some of it's just useless, of course. I would like to sell something. I don't need anything. Then be sure to return when you find any magic-y trinkets. Remember, Brantford pays the best prices. A cheery, red-headed woman nods at you from behind the counter. Welcome to Glinda's magic shop. Find supplies for magical research, paper, pens, wands to defend you when your demon gets loose. So what goods do you deal in? I have a wide variety of powerful items available for purchase, all made for the mages of this tower. They are very skilled, but they need all sorts of supplies. How skilled? They are quite skillful, if dour. I have some small skills in the magical realms, but I'm not in their league, and I can't say I mind. Lately, they've been looking as if they wish they weren't in their league either. She smiles and shrugs. None of my concern, of course. What do they need? Papers and pens, chemicals and herbs, flasks and scales. I buy them from the merchants and sell them to the mages. They aren't good at haggling, so I turn a tidy profit. What sort of research are they doing? Her smile fades. I've learned not to ask too many questions. You should do the same. Glinda smiles at you across the counter. Need anything else for your magical explorations? I'd like to buy something. Glinda sells tools that aid mages in their research. A few of the items look like they might be useful to you. I don't need anything. Sad news, but not surprising. You don't look like the research type. Come back if you change your mind. Well, we can still offload whatever's in our junk bag. So, she's still someone with purpose. An ancient hunched woman bustles behind a counter covered with alchemical equipment. She is busily measuring and mixing chemicals. She looks quite unnerved by the process. When you enter, she is glad to take a break. Welcome, traveler, to Xanthia's Alchemy. Excuse me, kind shopkeeper, what can I purchase from you? She pauses from her work to look up at you. This is not my shop, I'm afraid. It belongs to Kortath. I can make potions for you if you want, but I am very, very busy. Who is Kortath? The owner of the shop. He traveled north to try to find some gray mold for some sort of salve. Healing. Not my area. If you're looking for him, he probably visited Philea in Fort Draco. Ask her about him. Philea is quiet and she can be hard to find, but mention I sent you and she will help. He says all this quickly while grinding some sort of yellow powder. Why are you so busy? She looks up at you again, and this time, strangely, you see a glimmer of fear in her eyes. I can't tell you why, I'm afraid, but suffice it to say this is a time of great urgency in the tower. She returns to work. Xanthia offers a variety of alchemical services. As she talks to you, she constantly shoots worried glances at the bubbling and hissing pots behind her. I'd like to purchase a potion. A common request, but I am short on stock. The owner of the shop makes most of our potions, and he has been gone for some time. Can you make a potion for me? Of course, if you provide the ingredients. I can make a few brews for you with quality components. I have little experience, but I think I can keep from poisoning you. Look in the book by the east wall if you want to see what I can make. I don't need any potions. Alright, I'd better return to my work then. She turns back to a pot that is boiling over. The spilled liquid eats away at the stone surface below with a loud hiss. You flip through the book. It is very well worn, as if it's been carried a long way. The recipes inside are written in code so that you can't steal Xanthia's alchemical knowledge. The ingredients are, however, plain to read. Okay, so this is actually very handy because once we get a hold of gray mold, we'll be able to get elixirs, which are, like I said, very handy. You meet a powerfully built man wearing spotless white robes. A huge mace hangs at his belt. Odd that, in the middle of the stronghold, he makes sure to be able to defend himself. He walks up and claps you on the shoulder, instantly familiar with you. I am Throndell, of the Path of the True Way. You don't look like a pilgrim, but I am happy to help nonetheless. Are you the priest of this temple? Yes, I am a servant of the Path of the True Way. I provide guidance and occasionally protection to my brothers who work here for the good of Avernum. I also greet pilgrims to this place. Why do they need protection? He suddenly becomes nervous, very strange for a person of his obvious power. Yes, well, a mage's life can be a dangerous one, and there are certain forces that I can be of extra assistance in controlling. He seems unwilling to say more. Do you get many pilgrims? Yes, many come to this place for guidance, and I am often one of those they come to. I can teach people a wide variety of spells. Let me know if you want to buy them. Rondell says, you follow not the true way, but I will help you still. What do you need of me? The path of the true way? Yes, we are those who seek to reach the true way. Beyond this world, beyond what we know. We wish to reach beyond and learn the secrets of those who dwell there. Those who dwell there? You mean demons? No. I mean, yes, demons are out there, but we seek their opposite. Those who offer kindness and wisdom. We have never found them. We just keep finding more demons, but we are ever seeking. Are there others in the tower who tread that path? He frowns. There are those who seek to go beyond, to get power from beyond the veil. However, they would follow the shortcut of dealing with the dark powers. He pats his hammer. It is foolishness, and we must be ready for the consequences. Dark powers? I want to know more. He shakes his head. I'm here only because Linda of the Triad tolerates me. I will only say, beware the Hakai Lord. He responds to your inquiries with silence. I want to learn some new holy rituals. Rondell will teach some of its less powerful rituals to anyone who passes through. For a donation, of course. Okay, let's go ahead and buy Unshackle Mind finally, because that's going to be very handy. And we'll learn Mass Healing and Mass Curing, which is also very handy and a much needed spell later on. You look like a holy man of great power. Can you teach me any of the really powerful priestly rituals? I might. I sense great things in you. I would like to help, but I need help in return. There is a ritual I wish to help create, and to do that, I need an anvil. A huge anvil, larger than any in Avernum. Where should I look? I have sent agents to all the tunnels and cities to the west and in the eastern gallery. That leaves the far north for my search. What sort of ritual? One that may use anvils to smite our foes. I am working with a member of the Triad to develop it. You should meet him. He is very interesting. Tell me more. He has no name that he shares. He is but called X. His chambers are in the southeast corner of the tower, but he values his privacy. If you would find him, look for switches on the walls. Finding one shows that you have enough cleverness to merit his time. I have seen an enormous anvil. It's in Bootail's Forge in Fort Draco. Thank you. I appreciate your help. When your reputation shows that you are wise enough to handle the power of my strongest rituals, I will teach them to you. Please teach me the more powerful rituals. Word of Steel is kind of pricey right now. Ooh, we actually have enough money to learn Divine Fire too, so we'll do that. And now we're down, but at least we got some more spells. I don't need anything else. Then I wish you a safe journey, and I hope that one day you find the true path. Okay, so now we have Unshackled Mind. Here's those in your party who have been charmed, dazed, or afflicted. Mass Healing. The spell functions exactly the same as Heal, but benefits all nearby allies. The spell is the same as Curing, but benefits all nearby allies. Gives your group resistance to physical attacks and acid. You can only have one ward at once. A little tip I have too is because the wards do cost a lot of spell points, you might want to just go ahead and use the scrolls, which I think we have a few on Noah right now actually. And Divine Fire creates a deadly cloud of fire affecting all foes in a small circle, which is another area effect spell which we definitely needed, so I'm glad we have it now. Okay. It is also interesting to see too all the different like religions of Avernum. Because that one where they're talking about like chants and all that was pretty interesting and cool. But obviously, just like in real life, there's going to be multiple faiths and religion, stuff like that. But it is interesting to see a universe like this, like certain religions and beliefs. Okay. You enter the Tower of Magi Gardens. These plants are here for far more than just decoration. Plants are magically altered here to create hybrids useful in the harsh, dark environment of Avernum. Many of the strange plants which sustain life in Avernum were created here, such as the fungal trees, and the most useful strains of edible mushroom, and the stringy lichen used to create cloth and rope. If the Tower of Magi was nothing more than this room, its value to Avernum would still be incalculable. Okay, well, let's not go in there yet. We'll talk to her in a minute, but I'm still exploring some of this other stuff. Ooh, more things to loot up. Very, very convenient. Okay, this is still a restricted area, so I'm not going to worry about that right now. Tool use not high enough. A middle-aged woman with short, dark hair sits at the desk writing. Leaning against her chair is a short, wooden staff, carved in the shape of a twisting serpent. The runes on her robe indicate that she is a person of great power. She looks up at you, clearly annoyed by your presence. What? Who interrupts Linda of the Triad? I am busy, adventurer. Speak quickly. Can you teach me any magic? She laughs. I'm sorry, but I have far greater things to concentrate on than helping wanderers like you. I'm not going to mention this because I think that's going to set her off, so we'll just say, who are you? I am of the Triad that controls the tower. What is the Triad? The Tower of Magi is run by three mages. I control research, X is in charge of teaching, and one of us is absent. Who is absent? She gives you a truly ugly smile. Yes, one of the three is away. We don't know when he will be back. I'd like to ask X about teaching. Where is he? Yes, he may be of aid to you. He's around here somewhere. He usually hides in his library in the southeast quadrant, behind a concealed door. Bother him and leave me alone. Linda the Triad sits at her desk, working. She does her best to ignore you. What are you researching now? Many things. This is an ambitious time for the tower, a time of great and auspicious happenings. Right now, I am trying to find information on the first expedition. What was the first expedition? Many years ago, when these caves were first found, the tyrants above sent down a variety of troops, led by a group of adventurers. These adventurers had a wide variety of magic items, several weapons, several peculiar items, and finally a scepter of onyx. They were all killed to a man and woman, and the items were scattered, and we want them. What sort of magical weapons do they have? We cannot yet reliably make magical weapons. That's why we want these so badly. There was an undead slaying spear and a halberd with the blade of jade, and more importantly, there was the pike giant slayer, and greatest of all, the sword demon slayer. Demon slayer was shattered at last, but if the pieces were found, it could be reforged. Do you know anything about the peculiar items? There was Throny's orb, which enabled the user to fly. There was Blessed Athame, a magical knife which could practically cut anything. It would be a great thing to find these items. He starts to stare up at the ceiling, ignoring you. Your presence is starting to make her uncomfortable. Tell me about the Onyx Scepter. A strange and powerful item, only usable by the greatest of mages. I could say more about it, but I won't. Suffice it to say, this is a great and auspicious time for the tower. She smiles in a disturbingly shark-like way. Alright, well, that was quite the interaction. You are in a cleared out area in the middle of a circle of large, twisted basalt pillars. Etched into the ground here is a huge pentacle. The ground around is blasted and burned, and a sulfur smell hangs thickly in the air. You find bits of herbs and spell components on the ground. Examining them, you would guess that some sort of powerful magical ritual took place here, perhaps 3 or 4 months ago. To do what? It is not clear. Okay, dug up another cache there. There is a small, ancient hermit camped here, sitting by a humble camp at the far end of this remote passage. Strange, insubstantial forms flit around the camp. He hails you when you approach. Greetings, friends, or friends-to-be. You folks seem to be adventurers, and I have rarely met an adventurer who didn't covet better weapons and armor and the like. I often buy and sell valuable equipment. Would you care to examine my wares? Why would we attack? I don't know why. Excellent. The old man pulls several items out of his robe for you to examine. Strange. You can't see how all the stuff could have fit under his robe. This old man finds a wide variety of unusual items, which he then sells to adventurers like you. Of course, we don't really have any money for any of that right now, unfortunately. Interesting. The cave wall to the north is covered with lichen, and there are lots of large cracks on it. You are tempted to inspect more closely. Winding hidden tunnel ends in a large twisted pillar of glowing crystal. Remembering what you were told in the Tower of Magi, You wait here. Soon, the image of an old man holding a carved wooden staff appears inside the stone and begins to speak. Greetings, whoever you are. I am Solberg, of the Triad of the Tower of the Magi. I have left this message here in case there ever need to find me. I hope it should not be necessary to call me back to the tower, for that means it has become even more a place of horrors. But I have my responsibility, and so I leave this message. I have a small hidden tower near the lava pools near Formello. I may be found there, if need be. The password is disaster. I hope very much this need not be necessary. The shade disappears, you take note of the password. Alright then. So I would move on to the quest with the ogres. Let's go ahead and find Solberg. We are going to take a bit of a detour here, but that's alright. You actually know what I could have done? I could have just gone back to the Tower of Magi and then teleported to Formello and then gone up to Fort Draco, but whatever. We'll just take the long way. We don't need a shop, though. Alright. Now, this area where you bought the boat from Fort Draco, you can only explore the river areas up here by boat anyway. So we will go ahead and do that. Someone or something has collected a pile of stuff here. There are a number of broken weapons scattered about and some tarnished coins are scattered amongst them. Treasure sitting around in the wilderness. Very odd. It occurs to you what happened to the owners. You gather up the coins and a pair of iron greaves that will be functional after a good cleaning. As you put your loot away, you cannot help but notice a bunch of hungry-looking lizards approaching. But they're actually scared of us, so they're not going to fight us. That's funny. Guess they saw how strong we actually were. An armed group of unknown species clearly met a grisly fate here. You can't tell what they were. The battle took place months ago. Nothing of value remains. There's only stains and fragments of bone. Okay, we'll avoid those. Nephilim. Actually, let's head back to Fort Draco for a moment, because after we do explore here, we found a peninsula called Grox Peninsula. There are several guards stationed here, keeping watch over the entrance to these secluded caverns. They aren't soldiers of Avernum, they're just ordinary folks with crude armor and bent weapons. After some discussion, they decide to let you pass. You aren't Sliths, and they probably wouldn't be able to stop you even if they tried. In the secluded tunnel, you find a mine. A group of pale, muscular humans watches you carefully. All of them are armed, ready to defend themselves against brigands and Slith raiders. They wait quietly for you to make the first move. When you get closer, they draw their weapons. They must be worried that you're thieves and they don't want to give you a chance to prove otherwise. Rather than provoke a fight with a group of Avernites, you leave. You eventually convince them you intend no harm, and they invite you to find out news of the outside world. After a while, they explain what they're doing here. These tunnels contain a variety of gemstones, and they are exposing themselves to great risk to mine them out. They hope to get rich before the Sliths find them. As you leave, they offer to sell you some of their findings. These hard-working miners have extracted a number of valuable stones from the walls. They will sell them for very reasonable prices. Okay, some of these are useless to buy anyway, but they do have a few useful crystals. Yeah, another one of those terror ones. Let's go ahead and put on those greaves. This is a grisly sight. You found dozens of humanoid bodies, humans, Nephilim, and Slith, wrapped in thick webs and sucked dry. Among the debris, you find a scroll tube. Another return life that we'll give to Noah. And we will check out that alchemist hut, but before I forget that, we are going to head back to go see Philea, who, when we initially met in Fort Draco, she was not really that super kind anyway. I'm looking for someone named Philea. Can you tell us where she might be found? Ah, yes, you need to see her? She's a private one, but not above seeing the occasional visitor. She points at the seemingly solid west wall. She's past there. I'm trying to find the recipe for Grey Mold Salve. Do you know where Kortath is? She starts to snap at you, but then she realizes that helping you might cause you to go away faster. Yes, he was here, then he left. He crossed the bridge to the west and headed south, looking for Grey Mold. I think he has a hut down there. Go away. Right. You hand over the Urania fangs and collect a pouch of coins in return. Thank you. Some spiders are friendly, but those Urania are vicious and unrelenting man-eaters. You've made these tunnels a little bit more safe. Okay, now that we took care of that, let's head down over to the alchemist hut. And really, that was just to show you all where to find it if you get stuck. But by this tiny lake, you find a small stone cottage. There are no signs of life and the door has been smashed in. It's deathly quiet. The cottage has been thoroughly looted. You have no idea who might have lived here. There's no dried blood, so the resident probably escaped before the attackers arrived. Whoever lived here, he or she was probably a mage of some sort. There are papers scattered everywhere, some of which are covered with strange writing. Whoever lived here was doing research in the art of potion making. Fortunately, you are familiar with the magical script the notes are in. You find amongst the recipes a recipe for something called Grey Mold Salve. It is a very complicated recipe. If you told it to an alchemist of sufficient skill, he could make the salve for you. Okay, so we found the recipe for Grey Mold Salve, which is one of those things that will come into play later. Okay, so that just gave us a cloak right there. Let's just check this out real quick. Okay. If these videos drag for you, I do apologize, but then again, I am the gamer that likes to explore everything I can. But I will do my best to keep these under an hour as much as I can. Okay, pretty much the same thing. Ooh, that's Cloak of the Arcane right there. That's not very useful because it's kind of out of the way to get those cloaks anyway. It's kind of out of the way. But here we are where we needed to go, based on Solberg's message. You are at the entrance to a hot, steam-filled cave. To the south, spires of basalt and pumice emerge from pools of magma. A narrow ledge of basalt rings from the hissing fumarole. Alright, here we are at the hidden tower now. I'm just going to go ahead and save the game right here, though, but I will see you all soon with the next part of Let's Play.